and welcome all you this morning. I thank you guys for allowing me to address the peers. I've had a great few days here, and I am excited about taking back to Indianapolis all that I've learned. Don't expect any great stories from me. My wife and my dad pretty much carried the torch. But how many of you, by show of hands, have made a poor decision? Right? Well, I consider our community a mulligan community, right? All of us are in need of a second chance. And in moving back after financial ruin, that's what my wife and I strive to do. So we came together and made a pact that for 5 years, we would do nothing but help other people reach their goals. And as a result of that, we became involved with the Community Development Corporation. Is the slide ready for our community? Okay. So the best way for me to explain where we are right now, Avondale Meadows community was already running, is up and running. So a lot of the buildings were there, they're beautiful, they're a beacon of hope for our community. So now we're in the business of expanding or increasing our human capital, making people feel proud about who they are today, right now, not who they might be 5 years from now. And that's difficult to do because a lot of times when we run into adversity, it's easy to buy into the negative press. The one thing that all of us in this room share is that the communities that we seek to effect change in are viewed by the majority of the rest of the city as the worst in the city. And members of that community buy into that, as was mentioned yesterday. So when you look at this logo, this is an event that we had on the 10th of this month from one of our neighborhood community associations. And it was to address littering, loitering, and there was littering, loitering, and crime. Those were the key elements, but we're very selective with our words because I believe that the words that you call out, you edify that. So if you're talking about crime all the time, you're edifying crime. If you're talking about litter and trash, you're edifying those things. So I encourage each one of you is when you go back to your areas that you select your words carefully. So instead of having a town hall, we called it Proud Solutions. And we invited our residents and business owners and key stakeholders to this event. We had city representatives, we had state legislators there, we had IMPD, anyone who could provide a solution to those three issues were in the room. So when we left that day, the community knew where to go to get answers, as opposed to rehashing those negative things that happen. And all of you know from sitting in meetings, that tends to happen quite a bit. When you look at the logo, the three things that we're pushing as a community is to have a proud mindset, vision, and voice. We have to control the narrative because in the news, we're not painted positively. So when you're talking about having a proud mindset, that starts with the individual. This is before we go out to seek partnerships, before we go out to seek funders. It starts with each resident. Turning those negative things into positive experiences. I was a teen father. As Kathleen told you, I lost all of my wealth in Atlanta and had to move back home. That was tough. Moving from a 7-bedroom, 4-bath house into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow that was built 65 years ago. Those are tough conversations to have, but those are the conversations that make me credible in my community because other members of my community have gone through those same things. And if we don't share the negative and how we've overcome those, then we really can't have impact in their lives. Transparency is the best bridge to create credibility. So the mindset is first. The next thing is the vision. We have to see our neighborhoods as clean and safe because once you have that vision, your actions align to that. I don't ask people what they're going to do. I look at their actions. You can tell me all day that you're about community, but if I don't see you at a meeting, if I don't see you doing something outside of your normal routine, that tells the story. Last but not least, your voice. We don't have the worst area in the neighborhood or in the city. I stand out at 8:30 at night and it's quiet. We have tree-lined streets. We have a great park 4 blocks away. We have great schools, some of the best in the city. Our housing development is awesome. Our YMCA is beautiful. Those are the messages that I give. And when I hear someone speaking negatively about our area, it's not an argument. I just illuminate the fact that we're doing great things. So this is the message that we're giving to residents and businesses and stakeholders before we go out to the rest of the community at large. So again, I thank each one of you for your conversations during this 2-day period, and I'm definitely going to carry it back. And one note that I'll give to you is that as you're developing your capital stacks and you're bringing in your partners, have community members there. They might not be leaders today, but if they're willing to do the work, bring them to the table, because that creates the capacity that's necessary to grow beyond your purpose-built community, and that's the purpose.